Andrew Schulz, Charlemagne sat down about the conversation of different high-profile celebrities potentially using Christianity and Jesus to help them get away with things that are they're sus. Specifically, the conversation around Diddy and Ye. But before we get into that, guys, my name is Ruslan. This channel exists to encourage, empower, and inspire you to live a life that blesses God. If you're new here, if you're not new here, please make sure you subscribe. As a huge percentage of people that watch this channel, unfortunately, are not subscribed. This is the Blessed God Studios channel, which is a little too spicy of topics for the main channel. All right, let's get into this conversation.
Over in what sense?
Just like it seems the interest has started to wane. Like,
yeah, he inserted himself in the beef, and
no one cared.
Well, that's because nobody cares about Kanye rapping. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, go on. Wait.
So if Kanye would have done this 10 years ago, it's like, oh, Kanye inserted himself in the beef. Nobody gives a fuck about Kanye rapping in 2020.
We got to give the people a heads up.
You knew this.
I did not know this. I didn't know he was coming in that hot.
You didn't know Charlemagne and Andrew Schulz 49 minutes into a podcast.
I didn't know.
It's like walking around with your girl with a huge dick.
Especially when the guys, when the guys that are rapping are the rappers that we actually want to hear from.
Pretend to be a Christian while you promote a website.
Yeah.
Yo, the idea that he's like masquerading as this Christian with a fake wife, right? You're not even really married to her. You're starting a company. Where is this? They're not really married. Like, not in the eyes of God, right? You know what I'm saying?
That's an interesting take. He's like, you think he's going to go the route of legally married and they're just masquerading, but he said in the eyes of God.
That's
interesting.
Funny. So something interesting that I just found out, I'm not sure if the Catholics do this, but I found out, I told you that Eastern Orthodox don't recognize a marriage unless it's by the church.
Yeah.
So a lot of these folks to become Orthodox later on in life have to get remarried in the church and do like a ceremony with the priest.
I'm not becoming Orthodox just for the way that you're smiling at the people that have to get remarried.
And also starting a company. Like what the fuck is going on? Where is this Christianity? Everybody jumps to Christianity or jumps to religion when they need a.
So to be fair to Ye, he did renounce his Christianity. So it's not like he's saying I'm a Christian and I married her because I'm a Christian. He may have married her because at the time he was trying to be a Christian.
Yeah.
Right? But to say he's currently functioning or presenting or speaking of himself as a Christian, he's not. He just came out recently on a Big Boy interview, said he's God. He's his own God. He's back on Yeezus era Kanye, which is really sad. Speaking of which, I haven't sent Kanye a Bible verse in a while. I should do that. Send him something.
You saw even Diddy when he came out in the apology, the first thing, I had to turn to God. I had to forgive. Where was God when you was beating that girl up?
I think the problem with Hugh
guys a lot.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Well, okay. That's a more accurate take because Diddy was like months after Biggie died, an interview resurfaced of Diddy talking about he helped introduce Biggie to God, which was like and Diddy was a horrible human back then. Diddy arguably, not arguably, like there is evidence to suggest that he was responsible directly or indirectly, allegedly, for both Tupac and Biggie's death.
Eesh.
Diddy.
Yeah.
So for him to do that in the 90s and to maintain this like closeness to TD Jakes and maintain this like, I'm a man of God, like brother love, I turn to God. It's like, bro, you've been 30 years on this and there's no proof of any evidence of any belief that you claim to have.
Yikes.
Right?
There's no fruit.
There's no fruit. And, you know, the hyper-free grace people will rationalize that somehow in terms of, like, he could still be saved. But, like, no. Like, what? You know? And I said hyper-free grace intentionally, okay?
People using God. People using God when they get in trouble.
Yes, I think that the problem with people, like, and that's not even a problem. Kanye is one of those people, when he's in, he's all in, which is what makes him great, right? Because when he focuses on one thing, he's going to focus on that one thing, and that's how you get a My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. That's how you get a college dropout. That's how you get a late registration. That's how you get these amazing sneakers, whatever it is, when he focuses on that one thing. So it's like, if for that moment he's into God, he's going to be the biggest Christian in the world. If he's in the anti-Semitism, he's going to be the biggest anti-Semite that ever existed. Like, literally, that's who he is as a person. So it's just like,
and that's a hard thing to do, to be the biggest anti-Semite.
My God. I mean, my God.
There's a Jordan number.
By the way, so big that he was calling out the biggest.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know, it's interesting when I was talking to Neil from Dirt Poor Robbins, he said he had this really interesting take. He said that creative people have a propensity towards novelty. So whatever novel they get really into. And that could be dangerous when faith is involved because faith can just become another novelty.
Mm.
So Kanye goes through these spaces of a novelty. They'll pick up one thing. He'll get really, I'm really into fashion. I'm really into sneaker design. I'm really into auto-tune, 808s and heartbreaks. I'm really into making the greatest album, My Beautiful Twisted Fantasy. I'm going to make the best album of all time. That was the goal with that. I'm going to make the most crazy disruptive album. I'm going to do the opposite of the previous thing, Yeezus, right? So it's like this fascination with novelty, but then you extend that to faith, and it's not an actual I'm surrendering and bowing at the knee of Jesus because he is really king of my life. It's another thing I'm picking up, and I'm.
It's like, how cool is it that I can talk to God?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's the exciting part.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's insane.
And then that evolves into when something doesn't go the way he imagine it to go. Then it evolves into anti-Semitism. It evolves into corn potentially, which they said that was a troll, that he's not actually doing Yeezy corn, but. Hopefully that's true. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting to think about.
But he's the type of person that whatever he's on, he's on. And I mean, it's a gift and a curse for somebody like him, because it's the same reason we got all those amazing things that I mentioned.
Right.
But it's the same reason we get all the shit too.
Do you think that people do that though? Like, do you see this a lot? Like when people need forgiveness, when they need the public to change their tune, lean into their relationship with God.
And you brought this up with the Logan Paul situation. You said I wouldn't be surprised if Logan Paul had a Christian arc because of all the stuff he's got to get off his chest.
Yeah. And but the tricky part is that sometimes you can't look up until you hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
And so if Logan has been the god of his own life for a decade, he has been, right? I think people miss how there are certain celebrities that have built their own kingdom. There's certain influential people that have built their own kingdom where everyone is there to serve them. Everyone in their life is there to serve them. They have drivers, chefs, everybody, right? Assistants, managers, agents. And if Logan Paul's life is that, it's very difficult for someone like that to surrender their life to Jesus because you're functionally your own God.
Yep.
And everyone's there at your dominion to serve you. For someone like that to they almost have to hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
Right? And when you hit rock bottom, the only place you have is to look up. The tricky part is if he hits rock bottom and looks up and has a real encounter with Jesus, praise God, that's awesome. That's where a lot of times where people get to, that's how that goes. The flip side to that is, yes, it can be something that is finessed and positioned as an arc to someone's story to their point, what they're saying. All right, let me know what you think about that in the comments section. And it would be remiss of me to not tell you about our biggest sale of the year, our Father's Day sale happening right now. You can get our brand new Bless God Prayer Journal at the cheapest price it's ever been, as well as some pretty fire priest, provider, protector launch that's perfect for the husband, the father, or the mentor in your life. So go to blessgod.shop and pick up something right now. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.